Hey guys, in this video we replaced the A-pillar, repair the top of the A-pillar, repair the tops of the aprons, and put a new frame, the frame end in. So, let's show you how we did it and let's get to it. Hi, and welcome to Mike's Custom Garage. Since the doors have no wires, it's 3.5 inches on top, 3 on the bottom, and the door easily comes off. So we have 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom, and the door easily comes off. Hopefully they'll all spin. What I'll do is keep the door latched so it stays shut until I get all these off. Okay, now from here, just hold here. Hit the latch, door's off. Simple as that. Right here is a bracket that holds the fender. Now here's the new one. So we'll have to clean up everything here. This goes up inside of here. That should be fun. Maybe we'll cut this, take this off, put this in and weld it back on. Well, the strip's got to come off. Got a Phillips screw on the end. And it ain't gonna come out. Sometimes you can shock it, hit it with a hammer. Get it shocked loose from the rust, then you should be able to get it out. Or not. In this case, rip it off, cut it out, be done with it. Hopefully this trim will come out. Yeah, that trim's not going to come off easy. What I did is I ground this down so I can see the welds. So there's a weld here and here and there, there, here. There's quite a few. And there's a couple here, here. Got a little repair to do here, so I'll probably just cut this piece out and put another piece in and replace it. But I gotta get these out. I'm probably gonna do is weld a nut onto the end of it and take them off that way, because they're definitely not moving. But that's fine. For now, we're gonna get these all drilled out. We'll start getting, so we can get this A-pillar out of there. Okay, for these stubborn screws that don't want to come out, cut a slot in them. So yeah, just cut a slot in it, and using a flathead screwdriver and getting them out, because Phelps is not moving them. So what I'm gonna do on this A-pillar is I checked the other roof I have, and I've actually went down like this far on that roof. So this here is where I'm gonna cut this one. I'm gonna cut through here. I'm gonna take this off on the cowl, because that's getting replaced anyway. And I'm gonna make this whole piece, and then we'll take this off nice through here, and I'll replace this piece. And then this piece will be out. We'll put the A-pillar in, then we'll weld this back on the A-pillar, and then when I put the new roof on, we'll weld it right here. What I may do before I get this too far is run a brace from up here down to the rocker, just to keep things in place. So I'll probably just run a bar straight up, and that'll hold things in place. So I don't want this roof to move or nothing, and it shouldn't, but hey, you never know. So that's what we're gonna do next. Before getting into taking this A-pillar out too far, I want to support the roof and everything. I don't think it would move, but just to be sure, put an angle bar from the rocker up to the A-pillar, and that's nice and solid now. That's not going to move. Now we can cut this stuff apart and get it out of here and start getting ready to put new pieces in. So just a little extra security. I don't think it would move. There's a lot holding here. You know, the whole side of there is holding it up. The inner structure is holding it up, but why take the chance? A little extra scrap piece of steel definitely will make a difference. I cut the end of the cowl off so I can get into here and clean all this up, repair all of this. I'll take this piece off, and this is why they rot. Mice think this place is a hotel. They're moving on in. See, it's rotted inside there really good. Look at, you can see all the wiring, everything. The lower cowl is gone. So we'll be taking this cowl panel off anyway. I got a new cowl panel, a new lower. But I wanted to get this cleared up so I could get all of this cleaned up, and I could get this out and repair this. So that's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna drill out all these. I drill them with 1/8 inch. We're gonna drill all these out, take this piece off. I'll put a piece in here and repair this. We'll clean this up, and then we'll take this out. Got a little aggressive, hit it with an air chisel. Chiseled off everything but the edge was welded on. We'll clean that off now and do a nicer job there. But that's a quick and easy way. Buzz this thing off. I'll do the repairs I need to in here. And we'll get this all nice and sound, and everything here will look too bad. Got a little work down there to do. But yeah, we'll just get this thing all buzzed up clean, and then start making new pieces. This here is part of what's going to be replaced. That goes up right about to here. So I'll take a couple spot welds off of there, get this thing loose out of here. Whoops, I'll take a couple spot welds out of here, and we'll get this piece out of here. Then the new one will go right up inside there. There you go. So then we can do up inside, and then we can weld everything back together. So we're gonna clean up all these, and then we'll come back. I didn't realize how white that light was in the background. Hopefully I wasn't blinding anything, but anyway, cleaned it all up, hit it with a hamburger wheel, got most of everything off it. I'm going to repair this section up here. I'm going to cut it across here, up, make a piece here, and put this back in. That'll carry all the way through to here. This gets welded up back in place. We're going to put a little patch in up here, and we should be in good shape to put the A-pillar back in after that. I'm going to treat this with some rust inhibitor and try to keep it as clean as we can. So it's not too bad, at least it's all there. And we'll get this next piece cleaned up and then we'll repair that. So let's make that piece. So I cut a piece of metal, about the size this is going to need to be. First thing I want to do, put it there. I know I got to cut at an angle here. Something like that, so we'll cut that. Okay, that's good there. Now it has about 1/4 of an inch bend, so I'm going to give it a bend. That for this and this, like that. So we'll make a couple cuts. Okay, so here's the piece I've made. It's gonna go right in there. I will cut this down and across here, and we'll put this piece in. Okay, so this is all cleaned up. So we'll spray some rust inhibited primer on it. These holes down here are from chiseling this piece off of the old one. The old one was longer, it's like that long. And this new one's really much shorter. So we'll weld those back up. We'll get this all cleaned up, let it dry overnight, and then tomorrow we'll weld all these patches in. I gotta make another patch up here. So we'll cut this off, make a patch for that, and then we'll be ready to put the A-pillar back in. We've got this piece we made yesterday welded in. We sprayed this last night with some of the Eastwood rust etch. Got it all neutralized. Today we're gonna prime it, and then we're gonna put the A-pillar panel on, and hopefully get that on today. So patch has been welded in. I primed it, painted it, made it black. This is the new A-pillar. I punched a bunch of holes for plug welds. So we're gonna put this in. Gonna slip it up inside the A-pillar. And we're gonna clamp it in place. Tack welded in place, 4 quarters. I'm going to pull the brace off now, put the door on, make sure it fits. I don't want to weld all this in and find out this is off by a little bit. Gotta say, it looks pretty good. Holes flying right up. Next, we're gonna cut off this little piece and replace it with this piece. Now this little patch is welded in, so that all of this is nice and secure. So the A-pillar is done. Now we gotta put this piece back in, but it's gotta be cleaned up a little bit. So we're gonna work on this, make some pieces for it, and get it to fit. What I've done here, I stuck that A-pillar trim back on, tacked it here and here to get it back where it belongs. Now I got to make the pieces that have rusted out. This piece here, go along here, and then over to a piece here, which will both run along the top of this, and they cut off right about here. On the inside, I'll have to clamp this a little better to get it tight, but then I'll need to make this piece coming down, the piece coming off of here and coming down and over to this. So there's gonna be a whole bunch of little pieces being made, and we're gonna have to stick them all together to make the one piece that we want. So this is clamped here to hold it in square. That's where that belongs. Everything else has got to get clamped in and put together. So we'll do this one piece at a time. Well, I repaired this piece. This is all new. This is all new. The top is new. The only thing that was off of the original is this piece in here and going up here. And this will go right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clamp it all up, get it in place, and I'm gonna weld the welds where they belong here. We'll weld the front, and we'll weld the top, and then we're just gonna tack it in place. We're not gonna weld that until later, because when a new roof panel goes on, we'll weld this in place permanently. Okay, we got 2 tack welds on top. It's clamped here. It's clamped down here. Everything fits nice and tight. Now we're gonna weld it up. Okay, that's all welded. All looks good. So I made the piece going down here, welded it to this. Got it all welded in here. I made all these. Now we're gonna move up and we're gonna repair the tops of the apron. So first thing I did is I ground out the rust from the top piece. This is what's underneath it. I'm gonna repair this first. We'll put a piece in here, then we'll put a piece over it, and this will be done. And then we'll do the same thing here. There's the first plate welded in. That welds the center solid. Now the next plate is this piece. This will go over and I'll weld this piece onto the other piece. And that'll make this solid with this. And that looks just about like factory. You can say I do a little bend. Actually, pretty sure there's a flat on the end, so I don't even have to. Just this is how it goes. So we'll put that in. We're gonna grind this all down here and here. Then we're gonna weld this on, and then we're gonna weld them together. This panel is all welded, ground down, all dressed up nice. Here's the other panel. What I'm gonna do is paint this and this, and then I'll weld them together like this. So both faces inside will be painted together, and hopefully slow down the rust process. Okay, so today what we're gonna do is I painted the back and the patch I put in here. These will fit right where it was from the factory, and I'll weld that in there. Gonna do the same thing on top of this one. The rest of the structure is fine. I cut it here and across. I'm going to clean up all this, get this off, and we're going to make a patch for this. So I've already cut the top, which is right here. So that'll go in there just like that. Fits perfectly right where the old one was. So we're going to clean this out. We'll put a patch underneath it, and we'll put a patch over it. And this section will be done. Okay, so all I'm going to do here is grind out about where I think the welds are. And then I'll use this with a hammer and chisel it off and get it cleaned up. Okay, so now the top piece is off. You can see the hole we have in the bottom. So I'll make a piece now that fits this exactly. And I'll weld this in first, then put the other piece on over it. All right, we have good metal up to here. So first piece I'll cut will be this way. Now this piece has about a 1/4 inch bend going down, so I'll give it another 1/4 inch so I can bend it down the same. Then we'll put this in the shear and cut it up. Okay, I'll set this in. Make sure it's straight. And jump on it. Okay, now that piece is cut. We'll bend it. This piece is cut. I'll stick it in the brake. Lock it. Simple as that. Got this piece cut. It all fits where I want it to be. What I'll do now is mark here and cut across and down and get rid of this rod hole. Okay, and this piece is welded up. Going to grind it flush. We'll put the black paint on it. Okay, we'll let those two dry, and then we'll start welding up this patch while it's drying. Like the factory did, I put 3 holes, 2 sets of each on both sides. That's pretty much what the factory had originally, so we're mimicking it up best we can to keep looking at factory look. So we're going to weld those up now. Okay, yes, we got 2 patches done here. Top of the aprons, now we're good. So this is stripped. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this off and see, and probably just put a new end piece on. I have one of those. So it's gonna cut this off with a cutting wheel. Start there and then grind it off with the belt sander. So let's get that off. These pieces are junk anyway. The last owner cut the ends of them off. So this is cut, and there's nothing there worth saving. So let's get those off. Okay, so as you can see, get the bracket off. It's rusty behind it. It's also got a bunch of stuff inside. So I'm gonna grab my repair panel and let's see how long that is. Okay, so here's the piece I got. So it's kind of long, goes way further back than I actually need. So I'm gonna cut it probably right about here somewhere. Then I'll mark this rail to be the same, and I'll cut that one out, and we'll replace it with this piece. As you can see, the holes went through. The nuts aren't no longer there. There's the nuts welded on the back of this. So this is a pretty basic piece, and looks like at least 16 gauge steel. So I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to put this on. We'll show you us doing that. Okay, I cut that piece short. Line it up. And I'll grab my marker. Okay, just making sure it's got the same length. The holes are lined up where they need to be. Got a marker right there. I'm going to cut that. Okay, the outside panel's off, and as you can see, not much better in here. Luckily, I bought one of those too. So here we go. I'm going to cut this to length so I can section it in right about here. And then we'll weld this in. And then we'll put the outside back on. So we have to clean this up, get all this out off the edges here, and we'll keep moving forward. I have a new front also, so not really worried about hurting any of that. But I like to keep it there just for length and length purposes anyway. So let's get this thing cut off. Took some measurements off the other rail. It was 9 3/4 from the end where I cut to this little notch, and 11 11/16 from the end to there. Double checked both, made sure, cut it right where it needed to be. Did a little trimming, got it to fit perfectly. Now we're going to weld it up on the inside, then I'm going to weld it on the outside. So it'll be plenty strong. Got it all welded from the inside. I'll weld it again from the outside, make sure it's 100% welded, but we have good penetration. I filled in the hole that was here because that's not where it belongs. It belongs over here. The hole was off, you know, aftermarket stuff. It is what it is. The weld on the other side. As you can see, there's some decent penetration there. It went through. There's a couple spots that need to be touched up, but other than that, we're gonna be able to grind the outside nice and flat, make it look really good. Now, what I gotta do is plug weld. So I gotta drill some holes along here and down through here, and then we'll plug weld this to this. So we got the outer piece in place, and it's all ready to plug weld. Also weld a solid bead on the end here, and this will be in good shape. And then we'll be ready to jump on the other side. There you go, the outside's welded. This rail now is strong inside and out. And this side here now is in good shape. Next we gotta attack the whole other side. We're gonna do this all over again. So that's gonna be it for this week. Thanks again for watching. Hit that like, subscribe, notifications, leave a comment, share with your friends. I really appreciate y'all, and we're gonna keep on this car and get this thing done.